I want to show how I connect to a Postgres database using UiPath. First, let's create a table in our Postgres database. Then we'll create a stop procedure. Now let's check our stop procedure to see if it's functional. Let's head over to UiPath. Now we're going to connect UiPath to Postgres using the UiPath database activity. If Postgres ODBC isn't installed in your system, download and install it based on your system specification. Now we're going to configure the connection by building a connection string. If you are installing the ODBC for the first time, you'd have to follow these steps. The DB name is the name of the database where the table is created in. The username and password is the credentials of the main admin user with permission to that table. We test our connection, we save, and the build is auto-populated. Now we create a DB connection variable. This would allow us to connect to the database without going through the whole process of building the connection string again. Now let's test our connection with the stored procedure statement. We change the input parameters. We hit debug and we wait. Let's check if our results are in the DB. Let's use variables instead of hard coding the statement in the process. It failed. The reason it failed is that although the name variable is passed in as a string, for it to be a valid statement in Postgres as a varchar, it must be surrounded by single quotes. So we update the statement, hit run, and no error. Let's check the DB. It's in there. As part of best practices, credentials should not be visible in the processing. So the username and password visible in the connection string should be changed. The Postgres credentials used for this project are stored in an asset folder in Orchestrator. So we're going to use a credential activity to get them and pass them as a variable. While the whole connection string as seen is used to connect to the database, only the DSN, database name, server name, port, username, and password is absolutely required. So replace the username and password with the credential variable. But note, the password is of secure string data type. So we're going to need some special formatting to convert it into a string. With that done, we change the variable and run the process again. The execution is complete and the insert is successful. We close the database connection, and that's it.